What's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is the VGC video podcast where we go over what's been making waves in the VGC scene. Today, I am joined by my co-host Adi.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tub Takes. It's exciting. We're finally here. The season has finally started.
True.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun year. Justin, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Alex did not introduce me, but
I will
I am
introduce you
Justin
now.
Burns.
I'll do it now. We have Justin Burns here, your defending Seattle regional champion. So, Justin, did you expect to be defending your title again anytime soon?
I did not. In fact, I posted a few months ago that I was the king of Seattle forever, but as it turns out, forever is only about 9 years long. You know,
Right.
for anyone keeping count. 8 years and like 10 months, kind of.
That is, you just kind of willed it into existence, I guess. Kind of funny that way. Some people were calling it. I mean, Adi, when you posted, not that you were the one that like made the image, but when you posted the image from that video, everyone was putting their guesses as to what they thought the regional locations were going to be, and you put Vancouver, which I thought a lot of people agreed with you was a safe assumption. We've had Vancouver before, and it was probably a little too far north to be Portland. But still, Seattle does line up. We'll get into that one, though. That's a number of circuit changes. Definitely want to be talking about that because, of course, I'm from Seattle. I'm very excited. But let's first finish up the intro and then get into this. So if you're here now, but you know you won't be around for the later parts, or if you'd prefer to watch this on YouTube, we'll be uploading this to YouTube tomorrow. I don't know. I gotta actually just take some time. Maybe I'll do it during one of my regular streams to figure out what Nightbot's deal is. Anyways, CK49 on YouTube is Adi's YouTube channel, and you'll find the VODs there one day later. Make sure to leave comments there, as well as here in the Twitch chat. We'll be reading the Twitch chat as we go, so if you guys have any questions for us about the various topics we'll be going over, feel free to participate in the discussion.
This is going to be a big week for content on YouTube as well, because I have recorded team reports with Montana and with James, who got second and third at World. So if you're looking forward to that. And then I also have scripted out a couple other videos, which obviously takes a little more time to edit. But I'm really trying to step up content this fall. And so if you aren't subscribed for some reason, you should subscribe. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the videos that I've been working on. They've been good videos.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the season to be starting anew as well. We'll be talking about that today because, the season is already started. I think I saw Ryan Lozzetto, Sableye, already say he's got like 40 points in the bag. Like, I was like, wait a minute. I didn't even think about that. Like, you could have technically played a Labor Day event. Also, he's Canadian, right?
So I guess Canadian. They don't have Labor Day. They just had a Monday event.
Yeah, they don't have Labor Day. They go play Pokemon, which, as we all know, is a job.
So. It is. did some labor there for sure.
In Canada they celebrate their labor, every day, a little more than we do. They have unions.
Right, that's true. But regardless, though, we got a lot of circuit news. I guess I'll check the date here, 29th. So it was, I don't know, it wasn't like a weekend. When was it? 29th was Friday? Yeah, Friday. I don't know. We got a bit of a Friday news drop on us of a couple of different changes. One of them being finally how many points we're going to be earning in the global challenge, grand challenge, sorry. A lot of people were just kind of like, are they doing the same? Like, we can only assume the same if they're not going to tell us anything. But they finally announced that, as well as several other major and minor changes for the upcoming season. Victory Road did a good job of outlining the major changes here for video game players. I think Go and TCG might have gotten some stuff too as well, but that's not what we're here to talk about, of course. So, anyways, first up, the rule set. This is the one that I think is one of the most contentious ones. I want to see if I can go find the wording on it. It's somewhere in this one, but yes, all right here. I was actually planning when we came into Subtext today to run a poll. I think I know where people are standing on this one mostly. But chat, if you guys are looking at the screen, I'll read it out loud here in a second. I want you guys to tell me what format you think we're playing in December. It says Pokemon VGC regulation formats will no longer align with Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet's in-game ranked calendar. Regulation H will be used for battles from September to November, as well as the subsequent regulation from December until the launch of Pokemon Champions, which will be announced at a later date. Basically, people thought maybe we're playing Regulation H. Some people thought we were playing a non-disclosed format yet in December. What do you think, Justin?
And I want to give some context because I think Friday when the news dropped, the first thing I saw was that post, and it's because like Duck Pond, shout out Duck Pond, but he screenshotted that and sent it to me, and he was like, he had assumed we were just getting a new format after Reg H, but then I like read over it again and I was like, wait, that's not right, because it said like it's like we will be playing, or like Regulation H will be the format until December as well as until Champions launch. And that phrase as well as was like super vague, so it could mean either, we're going to be playing Reg H both of these periods, or it's going to be we're not going to be following the format for the first period as well as the second period until Champions launch. So it really could go either way. We're going to have to get some clarification. Who knows if we'll actually get it clarified like
before
soon.
November or whatever, before it actually just hits
we might wake up December 1st and like have a brand new rule set, like, hey, you're playing Reg H with paradoxes.
Yeah. Adi, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't see what the controversy is. It's pretty clear it's going to be a different regulation. It's not going to be it's not going to be Reg H again. If it was going to be Reg H again, and this was their announcement of that, they wouldn't have said which will be announced in a later date. That is entirely extraneous.
No,
you don't need that sentence.
Okay.
If you're announcing in this sentence that it's going to be Regulation H,
it will be announced as a later date. Adi, what will be announced as a later date is Champions launch.
It's basically implying until the launch of Pokemon Champions
is not mentioned anywhere in that paragraph. That's not.
Champions.
I see. Oh,
Champions launch
until the launch of Pokemon Champions, which will be announced at a later date. You're saying the launch of Champions will be announced in a later date.
Yes.
I see.
Which, by the way, Adi, I like that you said paragraph. This thing is actually just 2 sentences. This sentence is just atrocious. It needed to be 2 or 3 sentences. It's really bad.
This is why. So if anyone is a frequent user of like Microsoft Word or like Office or something, if you ever try to type as well as, it'll get mad at you. It'll say, don't use this phrase because it's way too vague. And like, I used to be like a very frequent user of as well as. And so I would always get annoyed whenever I saw that and be like, oh, I have to shorten my sentence. But I understand now why as well as is a bad thing.
I just think that I really think that looking at this sentence, I know we're just doing like fucking literary analysis here, but I think that if you look at this sentence, I think that if you wanted to say that Regulation H was going to go from now until Champions releases, there are a million easier ways to say that. But if you are trying to communicate that Regulation H will happen until November, and at that point, a new format that is yet to be announced will go from then until Champions is announced, which is also undetermined. And there's a lot of stuff that hasn't been announced yet. There.
My counterpoint is that
this is like not the best phrasing, but it is an understandable phrasing. Whereas
if you recall, Adi, the original announcement was that we will be playing Reg H from September until December. So you could interpret this as they are clarifying it. It not only will we be playing Reg H from September to December, or whenever, we'll also be playing Reg H after that. And as an aside, honestly, this is just what Tub Takes is all about. This is great. Imagine like First Take, Stephen A. Smith and like somebody else are trying to like analyze an NBA like NBA putting out some super vague statement or whatever. This is great.
Okay. One thing though that we all can agree on is that the phrasing does suck. That's the one thing that it seems like most people can agree is that like this type of announcement shouldn't be up for debate. And I mean, I'm hoping I've seen a couple of people on Twitter or whatever ask the Play Pokemon account or whatever, like, hey, can we get a little bit more information here? We're kind of confused. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Twitch chat. At least 6 people have voted that it's going to be something else. We're no votes for Regulation H. So I think most people are leaning towards we're playing a different format in December, starting in December to Champions release. However, I like H more, so I will hope for H more. And also, I don't want
We'll get to the
any.
we will
Go
get
ahead.
to the other implication of this
Yes, true.
later.
This one
Trust me,
is super annoying though. I wish they did better with it. Go ahead, Burns.
there's another very potential vague implication by this.
Oh, true. Oh, I see what you. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Actually,
So-
before we move on, really quick, I do think that this part is. Again, I'm probably reading too much into a very simple announcement sentence, but I just thought that it was interesting. They said the regulation formats were no longer aligned with Scarlet and Violet's in-game ranked calendar or ladder. That of course, when we're playing on Pokemon Champions, why would the format align with Scarlet and Violet's calendar or ladder or whatever? But I do wonder if it could potentially see us breaking away from like the literal calendar, and the format could shift, on March 20th, or sorry, February, like at some point in the middle of February or something.
We'll get to this later. We can save the cope for when it's
Yeah,
topical.
I get you. Hold on, let me make sure.
I do want to
go ahead, Adi.
I do want to say I thought the poll would have the options for what it might be, rather than just something else, because I'm pretty confident. Like I am like 95% confident that we are going to be playing Regulation I in December and January once again.
Yeah.
That is that like 90. That's the reason why I'm doing these team reports for Worlds, is because I think we're gonna have use for them. But yeah, I would just be shocked. It just makes too much sense. They never do a double restricted format for only 3 months. That's crazy. They would never do that.
Yeah.
I wish
Reg
they
I
would
is
do
the
3
vanilla take, and I'm 100% in agreement with you though, Audie. So that's the thing, is like we could talk about which other ones it's going to be, but like I guess it's between G Part 3, which is like the very foreboding one that nobody wants to see, or like I guess
back
F.
Reg D. Bring back
Maybe
Reg D,
F.
best Scarlet and Violet format.
I don't think D they could, E, C, who knows, man. I guess any letter of the alphabet.
Well, they can't. C is kind of just F, right? And D is kind of just F. It's hard to ban weird like DLC Pokemon. But B is actually doable, right? You could have Reg H with Paradox Pokemon if you wanted to. And that would be okay. Like Paradox Pokemon, but no other legendary Pokemon. And that would actually be kind of interesting.
I'd be okay with it because it's like still no Urshifu and then no Chien-Pao as well.
We haven't done a format with legendaries and no Paradox Pokemon.
The opposite. We could do the opposite.
I'd play it. I'd still think it'd be kind of fun.
And for everybody saying it, and Burns is always the one that shuts me down on this every time. For people calling for a no Terra format, I don't know. Burns always says that it doesn't seem like they're able to code that. Like it's just not in the game.
They cannot code that.
Yeah, so that's probably not happening. I feel like if it could have happened, it would have happened. Before we got all these repeats. So, okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next bit of news instead of ranking letters of the alphabet. Alphabet tier list when? Okay. So yeah, this is about the formats and stuff. Next up, we got our GC payouts. Here we go. This part is crazy. So now we knew that already, for people who are just catching up, that the regions are being split up for Global Challenge. We'll all still be competing. EU plays against NA, plays against Latin America, plays against Oceania, and so on. But you'll be rewarded points split based on your region. So if Marco Fierro gets first and Wolf gets second in the GC, Marco Fierro will win for EU, and Wolf would win for NA. So they would both be granted a win. And this does mean that the points being rewarded goes up drastically. I mean, not by exactly 4 times because the regions aren't all treated equally, but I feel like it's approximately something like that. If you want to go for the exact number, I don't know. I mean, it feels a little too nitpicky. Regardless, and then I think last time yeah, I mean, not I think, but last time the big cutoff was top 32, right? You wanted to get top 32 in these grand challenges, global challenges, because it was 120 points for top 32 and then 80 points for top 64. It was the biggest point cutoff between any two individual placements. Um, this time around, you can see 75 is a lot less than 170. That's the easiest talking point. And then it seems like the new cutoff point is also top 8. The biggest gap between points is top 8 and top 16, which kind of contributes to that factor of 4 thing. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, if
what's eight
somebody's more
times
math
four, Alec?
minded and wants to tell me I'm just like silly and stupid, then like, that's fine. But I feel like that's what makes sense to me. Burns, what are your thoughts?
Um, so yeah, it definitely seems like they are trying to, I guess, um, make it still like rewarding to play in these, but they're not going to be as drastic of like an advantage by playing in them or
Yeah,
like
like
getting a
deciding
good
if you get an
result in
invite
them.
or
Because
not,
like,
basically.
yeah, because like if you got first in one of the GCs last year and the like next highest player in NA got like top 32, that's like a 50-point difference over literally everyone in your region. So they're definitely trying to be like, okay, not all the regions are like equal in skill or player base or whatever. So we're just gonna like, divvy up points based on region. Also worth noting, and this may only be significant for like Australia and some of the I think the other smaller regions are like South Africa and Middle East,
Hmm.
things like that. Um, they will apply I guess the kickers for points after the split. So if you don't have as many people signed up, then like maybe
Mm.
like top 512 or 256 won't get any points.
Yeah,
Good to point that out.
or in Africa, it literally could be like only top 4 points or something like that, or top 2 points.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
got you.
I think for NA in Europe, it's kind of like proceed as usual. You're gonna have to try to get as high of a result overall to get a high placement.
Notably,
Um,
though,
Mhm.
sorry to cut you off, Burns, but I'm just realizing now that we are back into the mystery box of placements. Kind of funnily enough,
oh yeah,
that's back.
Yep.
We talked about this before, but like a year ago, the first grand challenge, if you were, in Adi's spot, because Adi, didn't you get 33rd in the first one?
I got 33rd in the first one. Yep.
But in that final hour, you were like, I don't know, maybe 29 or something, and
Yep.
you were expecting if that held that you would be top 32 overall. But now, if you were in the same spot going into this one, well, first off, you'd be getting a lot less points. You'd be fighting for 13 versus something else, but that's a different thing. But you wouldn't know if you were 29th in NA or, maybe top 8 in NA, I guess. That's the thing, you might not you
Right.
might be good enough for that.
And that's the funny part is that it is so hard to predict what the cutoff is going to be for any point threshold now. That it really disincentivizes you from stopping because you really don't know. Think about it. Like I feel like these are often dominated. I know that like Joji, for example, is consistently win these from Australia, but
Swake is a
like
beast.
generally speaking, I feel like it's like Europe that is most of the top 32 or a plurality of the top 32. In which case we could see a situation where, a European player sits down and they're like, I'm 16th place. Surely top 16 is not going to be more than 8 Europeans. And it is, right? And that would suck. But that would be if I'm in North America or Europe, my internal cutoff is I want to be top 16 in the world to get those top 8 points. Because that's the big threshold. Or I want to be, and I don't know what I haven't thought about really where top 16 points would be, but like figuring out where you want to stop is a big part of GCs. I hear stories every single time about people flying too close to the sun and then falling. And so, but it's just going to be that
It's
much
low-key
harder
kind of
to know
awesome.
where you are.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean
The
it's fun.
changes
I enjoy
definitely
it.
encourage you to keep playing.
Yeah, and so no, these changes are fantastic for because like you said, they diminish the importance of GCs, but not so much that they don't matter. These are still bigger than locals. If you are expecting to get top 8 in your region, you can get more points than winning a cup, which is still a big deal. And like you said, it can add up, even though it is no longer such a fraction of your world's invite. Like for example, last year, the Worlds bar in North America was like 950. And if you got 3 top 64s in your GCs, that's 240. That's over a quarter of your Worlds invite. And that's with no like really strong results in the GCs. It can be significant. It can be a third of your Worlds invite. Now, that is not going to be the case for basically anyone. Where it's going to be unless you like win 4 GCs, but I guess again, Joji genuinely might do, and it might be his entire Worlds invite in Australia. But other than that, like it's going to be a considerable smaller fraction of your Worlds invite. But I still think that they are very important. And Justin, you said that the difference between getting 32nd and 33rd is 40 points, and if you do that over 3 times, right? You get 3 top 32s versus 3 top 64s. You're getting a 120 point lead, which is a pretty considerable lead. But this time, no one's mentioned this so far, I think. The best finish limit is 4 and not 3. Which means that, so they actually count for more because you have to play in more of them, right? And there will be, I think, 8 total GCs, right?
Right.
So you have to get points from half of them. And if you get top 8 4 times, instead of getting top 16 4 times, right? That is 27 times 4, which is 108 points, which is almost 120 point gap that you would have gotten for top 32 versus top 64. So the skill expression and the difference that you get for being a consistent top performer is actually about the same. It's slightly smaller, but at the same time, because there are more of them and because each one counts for less, each individual GC feels like it's lower pressure, and dropping down from one tier to the next tier is not nearly as punishing. So I like the GCs are still counting for a decent amount, not as much, but a decent contingent, a decent chunk of your Worlds invite. But at the same time, it's not nearly as punishing. Every individual GC and every individual placement in each GC is not nearly as punishing anymore.
I'm a little sad that they got hit as hard as they did. Now, I understand that they needed to be nerfed a bit. Like, we're not giving 170 to each region's winner. But yeah, before they announced the numbers, I was definitely putting in a little bit of work for this one, and then I was like, oh, well, all right, fair enough. And you know what? I don't even feel that bitten, because of course it was a risk I was taking when I was like prepping for this. Is like, I don't actually know what I'm working for. But that said, I think what really put it into reality for me was when Adi said that 3 top 64s was 240 points.
40.
Which just sounds insane out loud. Like 240 points from, like you said, 3 not amazing but just good enough finishes. Like, no offense to anybody that's gotten there, but like the cutoff point, that one 20 points for top 32, like that's what everybody was kind of gunning for. Yeah, but they're still going to be worth playing in, of course, and I at least respect that or appreciate that. But yeah, I think that I wish I'd seen just a little bit more points towards the top end of these. It is also hilarious, the low end of the points. The low end of the points is like they might as well just stop paying at a certain point, like where I'm not fighting for 3 or 4 or 5 or 7.
That could be the difference between 80th and 81st.
Yeah.
and with the BFL of 4, like you might crash and burn and get top 128 in your region in one of them and pick up those 7 points. Unlikely to be the difference maker, I agree, but like I do think that it makes sense. Again, the kickers will come into play. Will 2,000 players in North America actually play in the GC? That's a real question.
Especially on our way to champions.
Who's ready for
That's real.
Who's ready for a hashtag tub take?
Yeah, of course.
I think if you win a GC overall, I think you should get an Auto Worlds invite.
It'd be fun.
I agree.
I honestly think that would be fun. Go ahead.
I think they're extremely competitive, and I think all the winners are like insanely good players.
Yep.
Like obviously, like Suika has won like 3 or 4. We had the one where Wolf secretly won. And we always have just very strong like best of 1 ladder heroes like Agati, Marco Fierro, many other names.
Nails won 1.
Yeah, Nails won 1.
I was gonna say, Burns, you won 1 and you're failing to mention it, right? So no bias detected.
Okay, hang on. That was a long time ago. That was a very long time ago.
It genuinely was, but No, Justin did win one of these, and we are going to be previewing the GC in a way, so definitely going to be talking a bit about like advice going into it. And Justin, that was another reason I wanted to have you on for this one, is because you have won one of these things before. Um, Back to your take though, I do think it. Honestly, I think it's a little less hot than I don't know. I've heard it before, I guess, is the main thing, and I still do agree with it. I think it's kind of cool, especially giving players who, like we've talked about before, maybe have less privilege to travel to events. It's not easy to travel to all the events required to get an invite. So having
Yeah,
another
exactly.
path could be really cool to still be able to compete at the World Championships.
Yeah, and
It
there's a
would be
lot of
fun.
people that can't like, we're mad about like, oh, top 80, which is fair, and I think, giving more avenues to auto worlds invites is, would be helpful to alleviate some of those, criticisms of the structure. And I
Make it
think
just like one
GC's,
overall, like literally just one overall. That's like just
yeah,
eight
yeah,
more
not
invites, you know? Like that's
even,
nothing.
yeah, exactly, and even like, and I would include like other regions in that. Like if there's a Japanese players playing in one,
Mm-hmm.
just I
Mm-hmm.
think if a Japanese player wins, they should get an auto invite. It's this.
Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I agree.
just give out one golden ticket per GC.
And think about how much more competitive they'd be if you had players from all over the world playing in them. And also, again, that whole thing about knowing when to stop, it changes incredibly when
Even more.
everyone is fighting for first, and you have that big prize at the top. But also when you have foreign players, especially Japanese players, tend to be very good at these GCs, fighting, and now you don't know, are there 8 Japanese players in that top 16? Maybe I
Yeah,
should be aiming for 24th place to get the top 16 finish or top 8 finish, right? Like who knows? And that adds to the confusion there as well. So which is good because it means that again, you have to push for your best finish possible, and you're facing more competition because you're playing more of the best players in the world. So I would love that.
I like Pokemon Ranger Emerald's comment here, saying what they need to do is bring back last chance qualifiers or Players Cup. I will say,
Players
this
Cup
isn't exactly
5.
one for one comparison, of course, like what we're talking about. But regardless, I think that it would be cool to have other ways for people to qualify for the World Championships. Maybe not the last chance qualifier. I mean, it's kind of a crazy
So
tournament. It's fun.
there is enough time between the last tournament of the circuit this year and Worlds for them to run like an online last chance qualifier Players Cup format style.
It could be
One,
cool.
who's going to be the last, who's going to get the last Worlds invite.
Adi, you
And it
had
would be,
something like this cooking, didn't you? You said it was like cut the world's invites from instead it was like not 75 but like 60, and then the bottom 60 play in the LCQ Players Cup, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my pet idea. I really think that it just be like it would be the most exciting tournament of the year because it'd be the highest stakes tournament of the year other than the World Championships themselves. And it'd be really fun to watch, and it also makes it so people have something to compete for, even if don't think they can be in the uh top 80 now. But also at the same time, people have something to compete for, even if they are already in that top 80 and safe. They still might have to push a little further to make sure they don't have to go into this playoff now, and risk it all. And so I think that'd be a really cool way of doing it, where everyone continues to have an incentive to keep pushing as far as they can every season, which should be the goal of a circuit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to be an
Totally.
Audi idea hater, but I like this one. Let's do it.
Let's go.
It
We
sounds it
got the
sounds like a
Justin
lot of
seal of
fun.
approval.
Let's see.
Yeah,
What
I
else,
just
what
think
are
about how many good players missed their Worlds invite this year from North America, just barely, right? I mean, there were a lot of people in that whatever it was like 83, 85 to 120 range that were really really good. So I would have loved to see that tournament play out.
mm-hmm. Oh, I think I just skipped over that one. No, let's
Imagine
see.
if someone lost their invite by skipping
Awesome.
GCs again. That's the thing is like people did that last year. I know multiple people who did that last year,
Yeah, several.
and
Yes.
and I think that people will do it
Million
again, and they
GCs.
will miss their invites again.
So
Because
I
yeah,
last year I skipped locals. I did not go to a single local after July. I did not skip my GCs. I was like, I have to play in these GCs because they are worth a lot of points.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep.
yep.
you can skip locals, you can't skip GCs. You probably can't skip locals this year either, but
No.
Well, you can skip challenges if you want to.
Play your
That's like
local.
the one thing.
Support your local scene. I shouldn't.
True.
Yeah,
I
you
We're
shouldn't
gonna be
say
talking about
that.
locals today too, so don't worry. We'll get into
Yeah.
that.
But one more GC thought. I guess we're gonna talk about GCs more later.
Yeah.
Okay, we can keep going then. I'll come back
Okay,
to
you'll
GCs.
save it then. Cool. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah.
mostly if you have thoughts on the points, get those out now because I mean I guess it might come up later, but this is the big change and it's crazy to see. Go ahead, Adi.
Okay, one last thought about points is that now we have all of the information for the circuit because this is the last piece of the puzzle. So now we can start projecting the championship point bar, which
Yes.
I already have done, and I'm working on scripting out a video that I will hopefully get out sometime in the next week. That will be my projection for the championship point bar. Last year, I said it would be around 1,000 plus or minus 50, and it ended up being 940. So I was a little off, but I was very, very close. And I said my goal was 1,000 points, and that was safe. So this year, if you want to know what the safe number is going to be in my head, which is usually pretty good, subscribe, watch the video. It's coming out this week, hopefully.
Awesome. How long
Look
will it
forward
be?
to it.
5 hours at least, I hope.
It'll be like a 10-minute video. It's not going to be very long.
Okay. Let's see. So next up, I don't know if there's actually much to talk about this one, at least not much that I care. Oh, you know what? There's like a little bit. They basically just say they're kind of like shifting out the Hori stance. If I imagine, I think they're just going to be doing what the world's equipment at all tournaments now. Honestly, the USB hubs will be provided for connectivity instead. Makes it sound like it's like a
It'll be
on
the
request
world
type
setup.
thing, but no, I think that they're all just going to be
It'll
set
be
up
the
like
world setup.
normal, like it was
It'll
once.
be all of them because you have to use those to connect to the internet.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you have to use
Oh.
the USB hubs. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
not the stands.
Like you plug that those cords that they did at Worlds, like the USB hubs or whatever, you plug them in and you connect it to the internet. It was really funny because I used one of them to charge my phone, like while we were watching finals on Sunday, and it gave my phone an Ethernet connection, which makes me think we might be able to use our phones to play Champions.
Yes.
at tournaments.
Yeah. Actually,
That'd be pretty cool.
the next one is the one that really kind of like starts to beg the question of phones. And honestly, if you're in the Twitch chat right now and you are experienced with Go tournaments, please do speak up because I'm kind of curious how this one will factor into our game. But yeah, so this one, I don't know. I don't think there's anything else to add about it. Of course, Switch 2 is going to be eligible going forward, and it makes sense that they just kind of like made a special exception for the World Championships because of the timing, but now it's like officially in the rules. The stands will probably be similar to what we saw at the World Championships. But yeah, this new one, Swiss Dynamic Seating, is a strange one, a scary one, and I don't like the way that it sounds. Low-key, I kind of want to go find their official one instead of VR's summary. I don't remember how long it was. Okay. At select Pokemon VGC and Go championship events, tournament event organizers may leverage Swiss dynamic seeding, which sounds so crazy and cool and new and fancy. Anyways, a new seeding method where only a portion of a Swiss round match pairings are seeded at the start of each round. Competitors who are not provided with a table number immediately when the round starts will be seeded when space is made available. Round timer will be adjusted for all competitors based on their seeding time to ensure a fair and equal whatever. Use of Swiss dynamic seeding will be announced to competitors in advance of the event. All right, I'll throw it to Adi first this time. Adi, what are your thoughts on this?
Me, but
I'll
I'm
go
the
over to VR's
contrarian.
summary here.
Okay. Yeah, so I woke up to Tub like freaking out about this in our discussing about it because there is potential for this to go very wrong. And I understand how you can read this and think like you might have to wait for a full match to get done for you to play your game, and then you play your game, and if it goes long, that might double the length of a round. That'd be really bad. And I get that concern. And if they end up trying to fit 2,000 people into a venue where they can only actually have 1,000 people competing at a time, then that will happen and that will suck, right? And that will delay events pretty tremendously. That is not what I think this is for. What I think this is for is so you can overbook an event by like 20%. And the reason you pick that number is because in the past, last season, if you think about it, they did not have refunds for events. So people would sign up and people would just no-show. They didn't know how many people were showing up, but they sold all the slots at the event. And so they sold all the seats and they couldn't overbook because they didn't know how many people were going to not show up. This year we have refunds, but it's like up until a week before the event, and you have to plan all this stuff and you have to sell your seats more than a week in advance, right? So even though people will refund essentially like after the point of no return for the Pokemon company's logistics, that doesn't mean that so people are going to refund after that point of no return for logistics, and they're not going to be able to sell those seats again because people need to book their travel plans in advance. So what's going to happen, I think, with this is that we're going to have a venue that can fit 900 people, which is usually what we end up capping at, give or take right now. And they actually sell 1,100 seats. And the way that what we've seen in the past is about 10% of people who sign up don't show up, and some number of people will also refund. And if they sell 1,100 seats and 900 people we have space for 900 people, we will end up getting 900 to 950 people at the event. And maybe in the first 3 rounds until people start dropping, we will have a few of these dynamic seating instances. But I don't think it will be, all day, every day, we're trying to fit 1,500 people into a 1,000-person venue. That will turn out really poorly. That being said, we do expect Pokemon Champions to grow a lot, the scene a lot. And like, for all we know, maybe they will make a mistake and allow way too many people into the venue and to say, Swiss dynamic seating will solve the problem. And they aren't expecting how big Champions will be, hopefully, right? Knock on wood. And they do accidentally do that, and it becomes, this huge shitty situation. But I think this is more of a way to overbook slightly, and it's not actually going to impact many people over the course of the tournament, but it is going to make it so we actually have these big events, and everyone who wants to go to these events can go to these events, because right now there's a problem with people not being able to sign up for some of these events that they want to go to. And so I think this is their solution to that problem. Justin, you have the opposite take as me, so I'll let you tie it off. You were on the other side in Tub.
Oh, I've really don't really remember what I said, and
that's fine. Honestly, what's your take though?
I mean, it's probably fine. I don't. I'm mostly curious now about how they will handle how they will assign who has to wait, because
right?
Is it going to be how they distribute the tables, starting with the highest record and going down? What if you're 0-2, your World's Invite is on the line at NAIC, and the round goes up, and it's you have to wait 50 minutes to play your next game.
Good.
So at that point, if that happened to me, I would be super heated and be I'm just gonna drop. I'm not gonna bother waiting 50 minutes just to pull some super jank team and get cheesed out. I don't know.
No. You got it exactly right, and you explained why it's a good thing. Is that now all the people who start out going 0-2 will start dropping because they don't want to wait, and so the tournaments will go a lot faster.
Oh no!
They're bullying them out, dude. They're bullying them out.
All you have to, you just have to win a round, in the first 2 rounds. And you won't. Well, I mean, I guess anyone could. It could be totally random round 1, but you win your round 1, and you won't have to worry about it. Because by the time you get to low enough of a record that it'll start making you wait, enough people will have dropped.
This is actually a big ploy for them to sell VIP seats, so you never have to wait on your round.
Oh no!
You're absolutely right. Adi, you're absolutely right.
If I'm a VIP and I have to sit out for a round,
do we have dynamic seating? But we also have 100 VIP seats this regional.
The worst part is that makes me want to buy a VIP seat.
Dude. Well, okay, so this is, I think in the Tub discussion, a lot of people were complaining this to flights, right? And overselling flights and stuff in a similar fashion. That was me, by the way. Okay, got you. Yeah, that is 100% the vibe I'm getting now that you've mentioned the premium seats as well, dude. Oh god.
Oh yeah,
dude, I want to be able to play in a massage chair. Can I play in a massage chair? Come on. I'll pay for that.
Okay, so to be fair, I definitely made that comparison in bad faith, because I did it fully well knowing that if they don't have enough seats on the plane, some people just can't get on the plane, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But here they have like an actual solution or whatever,
Yeah.
which I assume will be implemented through like Arcanine and the like. But all I'm saying is, if I gotta wait for my round, I better get a $1,000 voucher TPCI.
Hey, we don't have a seat for you, but we'll give you a full refund, a $200 travel voucher, and 80 championship points. Is that okay?
If you just drop right now, if you agree to drop right now.
I'll do it. I will do it. 100%.
We're gonna have to bargain.
I get paid to not play Pokemon. Like that's an incredible deal.
Okay, yeah. I think there's definitely still a little bit of a question mark about what exactly this will look like at the live scene. So a lot of guessing and theorizing, of course, but only time will tell what actually ends up happening with this. But I don't know. I'm glad all the stuff you guys brought up is super interesting and fun. So let's see. Then I think they just talked about the new Swiss and some of the updates to the handbook. We are playing Swiss +1. Remind me, is it +1 or +2? I can't remember. +2. Gotcha.
I think it's.
It was +1 last year. We did +1 last year. Now we're doing +2.
Okay.
Which is so weird. It's all based on like the numbers that they used back in like 2017, and now it's
this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted last year, by the way, because
a lot of people wanted this. It was good. Go ahead, though, Burns.
So basically, a lot of I think we had some incidents where, like, I guess for example, Carson went 11-0 at Louisville. And I think this also happened to like Pengy when he went 11-0 at San Antonio or whatever. But they get into, all right, you're going to single elimination. They lose, and you're like, oh, you got top 16, good job. But now, like, I guess if you're 11-0 and then lose your last round or whatever, and you're X1, you'll probably just get a bye into top 8, because they're just doing an extra Swiss round, and cutting out the like top 32 play-in matches.
Yes.
And instead of people getting buys to top 16, they'll get buys into top 8, which I think is better. I don't really like huge cuts. Like I don't like top 32. I think top 16 is fine when you're starting out in top 16. Before we had the system last year, 2 years ago, I suggested a system that was like, okay, what if we like everybody that's like goes X2 or like at a regional or whatever record gets 8th. Everyone with that record has to do a play-in match, and everybody with like a better record than that will just get buys into top 8. And if there's like too many of those, like I guess like yeah, if there's like too many players that need to play in, then the bottom ones just don't cut. So it's like res does still matter, but like it doesn't, like it just more punishes bad res rather than like screw everybody that doesn't have godlike res. And I think obviously just playing more rounds is the best way to do this. So I like this. I like having enough Swiss rounds to where you only have to play like top 16 onwards.
Right.
More rounds
and
always better.
Notably, you did mention like, yes, there are situations where in theory the 17th place player could have gone X2 and missed out on top cut. Someone did the math before the last one and was like, this is exactly the numbers where this will happen. But it happens very infrequently. Like it is not a common occurrence. It would not have happened at, I was scrolling through a few of the bigger regionals this year. I didn't see any situations where it would have happened. We have both, I think, Milwaukee and Atlanta. At least I think Milwaukee might have been exactly a top 16 cut, which I did look at first because I had that exact situation happen where I was the 2 seed after Swiss and then lost in top 16. But yeah, so like I think that it's very unlikely, and there's a very small range of numbers right over the cutoff for the additional round, or right under the cutoff for the additional round, where we can maybe have someone miss top cut, but it's pretty unlikely. I don't think it would have happened last year. Maybe at internets, because internets are much bigger. But again, just
Well,
maybe someone
at
has
some
numbers
point
off the
we
top of
just
their head.
play another round. We'll like
Right.
internets will probably be playing like 13 rounds.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
internets
boy.
are going to be a full 13 rounds because they're going to be over 1,024. Or that's
Oof.
12 rounds, right?
Yeah. No. It'll
Okay,
be 8
well,
plus 5.
Oh yeah, yeah,
depending
13
on
rounds. Yeah,
when we switch to champions for EUIC is a bit of a question mark, and then but NAIC is absolutely going to be champions. That's nuts to think. I mean, how many players we could be if they are ready to accommodate that many. We'll have to see. Speaking of upcoming events, though, they did announce, I think, 4 majors with this announcement as well. So that's really cool to look forward to, especially the one that we've already alluded to. But Seattle, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It's so fun that they're doing Seattle again. Although I mean, again, we talked about it earlier, Justin. You may have to. I mean, you will have to defend your title. You might not be the Seattle champion forever, but I mean, there's
No,
always hope that you can do your best to defend it.
this
Of
is true.
course.
I mean, there's a lot of
Um,
people gunning. There's a lot of people gunning because the Seattle community is as I know well through you and a lot of other people that
right.
there you have many players there, and I'm sure all of you are really excited and are going to try your best to keep it home.
True.
I'm sure there's a lot of people abroad that love Seattle and are going to come to Seattle to play, and of course there's me trying to defend my title, whereas last time I did actually defeat 2 Seattleites in Top Cut en route to my victory.
Oh no, dude! How could you do it to him? How could
So
you do it
watch
to
out.
him?
I'm coming back.
He knows how to defeat the Seattle players. So this is the one, honestly, one of the funniest parts about it all, besides the fact that we're finally doing a tournament in where TPCI's headquarters is located again after all these years, is this date, because we talked earlier about how there's this whole like we won't be in line with Scarlet and Violet's ranked ladder anymore, and that often, I mean, it always coincided with the calendar months. And yeah, we talked about when the formats are going to roll over. It says when Champions comes out now, or like till Champions is legal, I think was the more like accurate wording. Let me go and see if I can find it. It was this one. Until the launch. It does say the launch of Pokemon Champions. Are we just switching over the day it launches? No, that would be a nightmare.
Right.
But anyways, Seattle is being hosted at a very strange time, on a month transition weekend. So it does make things a little bit tricky because if the last format that we like Adi and I were guessing, and a lot of other people are guessing, is going to be Regulation I. If Regulation I runs until the end of March, then this is probably going to be
so
whatever
funny.
format is the date start.
Oh
It should
my
still be
God,
Reg I because it's in February.
that would be
But that would
ridiculous.
it would break my heart. It would break my heart. I mean, of course, it's still very exciting to be playing in my current home city, Seattle. But if I had to play like the last tournament on Scarlet and Violet in my home city,
it's just cooked if I have to defend my title on Reg I.
dude, right? I should also quickly mention the other ones that were mentioned or that were announced: Curitiba, Campinas, and Brisbane. Brisbane in November, notably. So that one actually like a bit of a sooner, because the rest of these are in March. But cool for Australia, because I think that they were. I don't know. I've done some coaching with some Australian students, and I was like, "When is your next event?" And it was like not until like February or something. But yeah, this is nice to have a bit of a sooner one for them.
Oh, I do want to make one callback.
Yeah.
So we actually had this situation where we had a regional start on the last day of February, and it was Collinsville 2020, and we were having a format shift at the end of that month. So we played Series 2 at the Collinsville Regional when it was like no Gigantamax is legal, I believe. Or like I think it was like only like Blaze Charizard, which was funny.
Right.
Yeah, and no Incineroar and no couple
yeah,
other
no
guys.
Incineroar, no like none of the like Pokemon Home. And then the next day, March 1st, you could sign up for a mid-season showdown at the Collinsville Regional that
A
was
side
played
event.
on Series 3 with Incineroar, Venusaur, like Gigantamax Hatterene, you name it. Like, it was a very funny situation.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I remember this. Yep, yep. Um, Justin, I know we were both at that one, but I think we both made it to the second day of competition. So,
No, you didn't. I cut.
no,
You
I
didn't.
didn't. Did I
No,
not? Oh,
I was on.
it was
I
different
was the
back
only
then. Did I
person that cut
like?
with our team. I was the only person
No,
that
I'm
cut
thinking
with
of
our
something
team.
else. Dude, I thought I did okay at that one though. Like not amazing.
I mean, you got top 32. That's not bad.
No, that's decent. I'm just trying to think if I made it to like an elimination stage or if I just lost out in Swiss. Not important. Um, okay. You made it though, right? I believe.
Yeah, and then I
You
promptly lost in top 16.
nah.
And then we went to McDonald's and got Shamrock shakes, and then we never saw each other again for like 2 years because of COVID.
That's true. That's true. Um, don't need to get into all that, but anyways, Seattle, very exciting. That we'll be doing a regional here. I mean, I some people were guessing it based on the map, but I don't know, dude. You had to like zoom in really hard and squint and guess. Like it wasn't that clear. So, um, anyways, anything else to say about this one?
Zach was on Seattle
Yes.
for a while. He was very confident.
Yeah.
He was really literally doing that zooming in
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
detective work. Was very confident.
Actually, I had someone recently before Seattle was announced in my DMs saying, "Dude, you got to come up to Seattle sometime. I can house you whenever, but I'm booked for the regional." And I was like, "Wait, what regional?" I I didn't ask. I didn't mention to say it, but I was like, "Wait, does he know
Yep.
something I don't?" Which turns out he did.
That's crazy. I was actually talking to my mom about like some of the she wants to like maybe come see another regional in the same weekend that I'm going or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, Vancouver's a pretty city." And then as soon as I got moved to Seattle, she's like, "I already saw you in Seattle. Like I don't really need to be going there while you have like everybody in the world hitting you up for like, hey, can I stay at your place? Hey, can I crash at your place? Hey, can I crash at your place for the tournament?" Um so silly. Okay, so I think that's mostly it for the news that came out of this one. I mean, there might be some other minor things that slipped through. If there's anything, of course, mention it right now, and we'll talk about it. But I think that's the big stuff. That was the big stuff. So, let's get on to talking about what's coming up this weekend, and I mean that in two senses. First off, is the Grand Challenge. The Grand Challenge, we talked about it plenty already. The points are out there now, and but this is still the first one of the season, one of the first opportunities to get a lot of points. I mean, at the end of this coming weekend, we'll know who our first Grand Challenge winner is of the season, which is going to be fun and exciting. Winning these is, of course, no easy feat. And
You're gonna know who
actually,
your first like 4 or 5 Grand Challenge winners.
oh, that's true. There's multiple winners now. I mean, like, there's a real winner, and then there's
There's a
like the
real winner,
region
and then
winner. But yeah, actually in the chat here, Pokemon Ranger Emerald said, "Is anyone streaming it?" Now, low key, I don't know if I'm streaming this one. I'm still maybe leaning a little bit more towards no because I want to take it seriously. But Fede Campo's tweet pretty accurately summed it up. He was just like, "Wow, this is a pretty crazy change. I might as well just stream all these now." And I was kind of like, fair enough. Like, I mean, if they are worth a lot less, I mean, it does make it a bit more worth it. I'll at least consider it. But like I said, at least for this one, I put in a good amount of work for my team, and so I was like kind of hoping to keep it a little more under wraps. We'll see. Regardless, anyways, yeah, I guess we've all played in plenty of GCs at this point, but the people in this call here. So I just wanted to check in with you guys. We do this every time, but what's your little bit of advice for this upcoming one? I'll start with Adi this time.
Yeah, my advice is don't cook too much. The amount of cooking you should do is your team needs to be consistent, is really what it is. You can't try to jank through every single team. But you can try to pick and choose your spots where you can really abuse best of one. And so my philosophy is usually I want to pick a team that has a good matchup spread all around. And whenever I know the bad matchups are, I can find a consistent way to do something unexpected against that team. those one or two teams. But like that's sort of how I approach team building for a grand challenge. I don't think it's worth going entirely off the deep end. I say that as I might be going entirely off the deep end for this grand challenge. But I do think that generally speaking, that's the right approach: is use a good team, throw some surprises on, and make sure those surprises work in the matchups where you need them to work, and don't worry about them in the other matchups. Don't try to cheese everything.
I like that. Justin, what's yours?
I mean, I'm kind of in agreement with Adi. Consistency is like super key. I think more specifically, I think if you run like Pokemon that are good, like because of, they stat check the metagame or their typing is just really good until like the metagame. If you can like find different ways to use those standard like Pokemon, just like unique sets that are still like take advantage of its strengths, that's really strong because maybe someone will be in team preview and be like, oh, that's like MDV's team from last year, and then you send out your Pokemon and they're not the same sets at all. That can catch people off guard, and they wouldn't have, obviously they don't have the time to adjust. So definitely like, that's probably how I got most of my best GC finishes. So I think it's a pretty good, strategy to think about. Be deliberate when you're team building. But really, you just got to make sure you are comfortable with what you're using because you're going to be playing 45 games, at most. So definitely just do something that you can do over and over and not be like, I don't know.
So burnt out. That's true, man. Those like Dozo leftovers and grassy terrain teams. Like, are you really gonna have time for all that?
Yeah.
Another good example of like a simple one, like taking a good Pokemon and using it in an unconventional way is like you could absolutely get away with like Scarf Pelipper, and do like some really stupid stuff with that. Like that's a specific one, but like it's a good Pokemon that's like run in a way that you probably couldn't do that in best of 3 open sheet. But I've seen a decent amount of Scarf Pelipers and always been like, oh, that's actually pretty effective. My quick little advice is actually a very simple one as well, but it's to just like have that fast Pokemon, that naturally fast Pokemon. I think is like a really good way to consistently win games. Now it doesn't mean that every team has to have a consistently fast Pokemon, but like that's why Sneasler is still so good in closed sheet best of 1. Is it doesn't matter if at the end of the game your Focus Sash Sneasler is 1v1ing a Ursaluna, a Delphox, a Murkrow, whatever. Like, it's just faster than all of these Pokemon that I'm mentioning. And, you might find yourself against something common, you might find yourself against something uncommon. But the commonality between all these Pokemon is that Sneasler is probably going to be faster than all of them, or Dragapult, whatever fast Pokemon you want to be your end game winner. But, like, that's why these, like, Focus Sash Pokemon with, like, really strong offense can be, and really high speed can be really good, whether that's like a Chen Pao in different formats, a Focus Sash Flutter. I don't know. There's just like a lot of different ways you can run like a good 1v1 Pokemon that just uses its speed well. But yeah, so Audie, did you have something? Go ahead.
One more thing. Yeah, one more thing I want to say about this GC. Specifically is that you should play this GC. If you're going for a Worlds invite, it is probably worth your while to play the GCs before Champions comes out, because as soon as Champions comes out, I keep saying this, the player pool is going to increase pretty tremendously, both with old players coming back, players like Justin who just don't want to play Reg H and are planning on coming back later.
No, he's an H guy. He's an H guy.
I'm playing.
You're an H guy?
I'm playing the GC. I'm playing the GC.
Okay. Yeah, so even Justin's playing the GC. And I think it's because, I mean, not specifically you, but at least I am taking this one seriously because, again, as soon as you get an online game, you are going to get a bunch of people who are grinding the online game. They may not go to tournaments. They may not take it as seriously otherwise, but like all of a sudden the amount of players in these GCs is going to go up tremendously, and that's going to make them so much harder to get that top 8. So if you are going for a Worlds invite, I do think it's worth your while to play in the first 3 or 4 GCs. Even though the format might not be nearly as exciting as a Pokemon Champions global challenge.
Right. Yeah, I think that's really solid advice, because I've definitely seen some people who are just like, oh, I don't want to play the GCs for the sake of it. And you know what? If you're not Montana or James Evans or Gio, and you're not already auto qualified, you probably want to consider playing this one. Those guys, they get to hit on it as much as they want. You can't contest them because damn, they already got their invites figured out. All right.
Hey,
Also ongoing this weekend.
They could
Go
Grinch
ahead, Brooks.
points. They could Grinch points.
They could. You're right. You're right. Just ruin people's time with like the most like cheesy whatever. Oh man.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually relevant to what Rafa's talking about in the chat. He says, "Do I play this GC or go to the Seattle doubleheader?" Well, locals are back, and what better time to use the event locator to find said locals? Let's go ahead and type in Seattle and figure out what that looks like. No, I'm not trying to flex how many locals we have, by the way. I know that that's another funny thing.
Yeah,
you're trying to flex how terrible this event locator is.
100%.
That's a lot of locals. Wow, 49 locations within 50 miles. 50 miles? Is that what you're?
Yeah, I don't actually know what I set it to. 50. Yeah, 50.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. So how many of those can you actually play the video game at?
Well, you can sort by that. To be fair, Audie, that honestly that works all right. You can sort that. Let's get that in there. Cool. Now we're down to 17. But what I want to know is, Alex said that there's, or Rafa said in the chat, there's a Seattle. Can I play the GC while I'm driving? I just saw that. Rafa, no, you cannot play the GC while driving.
That nails you. That nails
no,
you.
No. Okay, so yeah, the Rafa's talking about locals this weekend. So where is it? He said that the local is this weekend. Let's figure out where it is. And I do know the answer. Lucky for you, it is actually the first one here. But if you were to just like start clicking, like I don't think this is organized by like time or date of the events or anything like that. You have to, if you want to know more about the events, click on the events and then learn, click on the location and learn about the events they are hosting based on that. And so like here I'm seeing like, it's talking about like the first thing upcoming,
it's a league.
Like league.
You should show up to the league.
League.
You should definitely go to the leagues.
I talked about this on Tub Takes already, Audie, so I'll be quick with it. But like this is actually how I got started with Pokemon and got completely on the wrong foot. Is I wanted to go to a tournament, use the event locator, showed up to a league, and it was like I was an 18-year-old kid, and I showed up, and there was like 6 10-year-olds who were hanging out with a dad at like a game shop, just after school type club kind of vibe. And like, that's cool for what it's trying to be, but I wanted to go to a tournament and play people playing tournaments. And so it was just very confusing and annoying. And the event locator was made better since then. However, yeah, finally we scroll enough and we find the League Cup here, hosted on the 6th. And it's just awful. It's just so annoying. Go ahead, Audie.
So you can filter out the leagues if you win in the options by clicking just cup and challenge.
Cool. So we can at least get that part done.
But again, this is supposed to be an entryway for new players. So a couple things happened. First off, you saw that number went from 14 to 10, right? Which is there's 4 locations that only have leagues, which if someone showed up to, they wouldn't even be like, yeah, come back next week. There's nothing. No way of knowing. And you're right, it is really bad for the new player experience. Also notably, let's say, okay, cool. There's 10 different locals near me. That is not true for me, by the way. There's like 4 near me, which is still pretty good. I know Justin's like, damn, I wish I had 4 locals near me.
But I have 2 doubleheaders coming up in my own.
Nice.
Actually,
okay,
that's pretty good. Yeah. But anyways, how do you know? How do you know which one is this weekend? You're right. You can't. There's no way to sort it. There's no way to sort it by date. There's no way to sort it by distance from a location. I don't think. It's just a list, and it's not useful. It's just it really. I do miss the old interface, even though the old interface had problems. Please let me sort by location or distance, and let me sort by the latest date
most of all,
or the tournament filter.
Most of all, please.
Because otherwise, yeah, you're right. Like, so I have again 4 or 5 locals in the DMV area, and so I can reasonably click on all of them and keep track of all of them individually, and it's not too bad. And if you're a normal person who lives maybe not in a huge city, you probably don't have 5 locals near you anyway, so it's not a big deal. If you live in Ohio or Seattle specifically, damn, you gotta. But it is annoying if you live in Seattle or Ohio or just set the search radius really large, and you need to click through every single one of these events to see what is within driving distance. Like, yeah, this is unusable. And I think this has been unusable for years and years and years. And I'm glad they're trying to fix it, but like, this is not it.
Rafa's mentioning in the chat, and Pokedata does seem to have its own. I didn't know if this has been around for a while, or stop encouraging
I
Robert
didn't
to
know
do
this
things
at
while he's
all.
driving. Anyways, yeah, so I always end up at the VGC standing site. Pokidata, for people that don't know, it's a very helpful site. You can use this one to look at like the results of tournaments as they're ongoing. It's one of the best ways to look at them while they're in the middle of happening. And it'll tell you, exactly their schedule and stuff. You can even get information on the teams here. Awesome website, very good tool. And it seems like the homepage now has this right here at the top, Pokemon local events, and I was almost like, is this in response to the really bad event locator now? I don't know. Maybe it's always been there. Regardless, I was told about this tool. I am not very good at using it. I've
Does
tried
it work?
to. It seems confusing. Honestly, the best version of it I found is actually going to the map and then using it almost exactly like the other one that's bad. However, if you click on a location and you can sort, like, let's get rid of TCG stuff, pre-release, go, get rid of all these, even like friendly video game stuff. Then if you go and click on a location, it will show you when those events are. So like if I click here, or I guess it gives you the URL to the events, but like here's the date. The date you can see, league challenge date. It's a little bit clunkier, but this way is still much better than the other one. I can just at least click on these ones and be like,
No,
oh yeah,
this is crazy. I didn't know this existed.
I only found out
You can't
today,
sort by
though,
date,
so.
can you?
Start
Oh, it's already
date,
sorted by
end
date.
date. Well, what do you mean? Oh well,
No, yeah.
like
It's well, if you scroll down, right? Or I don't know how you open the map real big, but with the list that's beneath that, you can actually see a list.
wait, there's a list beneath it.
Is there not? How did you make the map so big?
Oh, I just clicked on the map spot.
Oh, weird.
Here,
Okay. I did the map in the interface,
oh, have
in
you opened it
the
yourself? You're
normal
saying?
interface. Yeah, I just got it open myself.
Okay.
And if you say pick on map right here in the middle of the page.
This map or a different map?
No. It says pick on map in red. There's a button next to
Oh,
coordinates
that.
radius in the
Okay.
middle of the page. Now you
Got
can
it.
pick your
Got it.
spot, and then you can see a list that will be filtered in exactly the way that I want it.
Okay.
And then you hit enter on the and then sorry, you pick a radius and then click enter.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's not bad.
It's sick. It's sorted by date. It's got all the information you need. It's got the URL. It's great. The only thing is
Even the
you
cost.
can't sort by
the
distance.
cost is here too. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really good. This is incredible. I didn't know about this.
Yeah. So shout out to Pokidata for providing another good tool, especially in lieu of a really bad tool that was somehow made worse. And to be fair, I think they're probably trying to improve it. They're not actively making it worse for the sport of it. But yeah, they just got the wrong idea. It just didn't get passed. Like it didn't get QA'd or something. There's that app. We talked about that a couple episodes ago, right, Adi? Is that
Yeah, that Oko app. I
the
don't think
app?
I don't know if it has locals.
It does. It has locals.
Oh, it does.
It is almost the same interface as the website. I think they made the event locator website based on the app, or they made it so that you could use them on both.
Yeah, makes sense. Got it.
Or maybe it just
Unfortunate.
or maybe it just opens it in a browser and be like, here
Genuinely.
you go.
Genuinely. So yeah, this is really cool, and yeah, I just wanted to shit on the event locator a little bit with this segment, but also talk about locals coming up because that's also really, really exciting. Everybody is reset on locals. Their BFLs are empty unless you're a Canadian who happened to play one on Labor Day, but not Labor Day. No, no shots fired, of course. Just
well, I saw there was one in New York too. So there was a.
Oh, New York had one. Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice. So yeah, locals are back, and of course, you can see here by the event locator or by me telling you word of mouth. But Seattle has a very good local scene, so it's really exciting to be able to return to playing in these, getting practice at the local scene, and just playing Reg H because this is one of the best plays to practice it. If it's not like if you want to play in game, of course you can't play Reg H outside of the GCs or community run ladder tournaments, or I guess like grassroots tournaments like Victory Road. But yeah, there's another really good source for getting practice. So, yeah, I don't know. You guys excited for locals, Adi?
Yeah, I've got one this Saturday. I got a challenge that I'm going to.
Nice.
And then we got I get doubleheader cup. Sorry, not midseason showdown anymore. Next weekend in the DMV area. The DMV is a little weird because I think in DC proper, they're all in like Maryland or Virginia out in the suburbs, and so I live in the Virginia suburbs, so it's a little hard for me to get to the Maryland suburbs. So we'll see if I can go to both of them. But this Saturday there's one in Virginia, and then also next weekend there's also one in Virginia. So I will be going to at the very least both of those.
It's something I've only gotten to experience once is like getting familiar with a new local scene, after making a move. So that's going to be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it several times now,
Yes.
and I always think it's cool. Like I genuinely really enjoy going to locals and meeting all the local players. Never had like I had awkward experiences for sure, but I've never met anyone who was creepy or weird. And obviously, there's a lot of male privilege there, but yeah, no, I've just had a good time at every local I've been to. I made so many like very very close friends at these locals across the country and across North America. So yeah, definitely recommend going to them. Check out the PokeData event page because actually it is a life changer and it'll make it so much easier to go to these events.
It's so much better, dude. Is Roushing going to be there? Have you bugged him? Is he going to the local this weekend?
I think he's going to come to the Cups. I don't know if he's coming to the Challenge.
Got it. Justin, what about
he's
you?
coming to the Virginia Cup at the very least.
Are you you got locals coming up? You said next weekend or not this coming one, right?
Yeah, so not this weekend, but I think a week from Saturday, and then another one 3 weeks from Saturday. And I actually haven't been to too many Alabama locals.
Yeah.
I've driven up to Nashville a bit, but I heard we got a lot of new players kind of like showed up towards the end of last season. And they've been pretty active in like our like Alabama VGC Discord or whatever. So pretty excited to talk to them. I'm sure a lot of them I'll recognize from Discord, but I haven't really met many of them in person. So it'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
Actually, a huge crime that we didn't get Rafa on this episode if we're talking about locals at all, because that guy's crazy. He actually
right?
drives me insane because
He's Mr.
he plays
Local.
them too many. He plays too many.
Rafa, why didn't you go to the Portland local?
That dude missed his Worlds invite because he went to locals instead of playing the GC.
I know,
dude.
Do again
this week. Just to be clear, he's gonna do that again.
He's gonna go to the local instead of playing the GC, even though he's gonna go to the local the next 30 locals after that too.
He's gonna fill up his BFL and keep going to locals instead of playing the GCs.
Yes. Oh my god, dude. Okay.
You know what? That's a good addiction to have. Locals are awesome.
They are very, very, very fun, and it seems like they have an awesome scene up in Vancouver. So, anyways, I haven't gone to any of the locals up there, but they come down here and they're really cool people. Most of them, at least. Rafa, I don't know. Anyways,
no.
Jokes aside, let's talk about a little bit of the Regulation H metagame, at least best of 3 tournament style. The major tournaments are coming up faster than I'm sure some people would like. The first ones are going to be in Frankfurt and Monterey, right? Frankfurt and Monterey on the weekend of the 13th. So not quite this weekend, but next weekend, right? And then after that is Pittsburgh, or am I off by a weekend? No, I think I'm right.
No, you're right. It's GC and then the 2 regionals and then Pittsburgh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so fast, so fast. This season is kicking off soon, and so a lot of those people are going to be turning their attention to playing or looking at the results of Victory Road tournaments that have picked up already. Because I mean, we had the previous run of Regulation H to look at for results, but what's still sticking? Is anything new popping up? Are there any like trends that people want to make sure they're ready for? Ultimately, world champion Shohei Zine ended up taking this one home with Doug Balance, which I don't know, when I'm talking about this format, is one of the main archetypes.
Mouse Ape too, right?
Yes, Mouse Ape right here.
So I don't know if I may have posted the screenshot in some server at some point because it was a really funny screenshot. It was like World Cup last year. Team Japan had a round where like 5 of their players all brought like the same like Doug plus either like Rilla or Amoongus plus a Mouse Ape.
Here it is.
It was really funny.
Yeah,
So they were really high on that team last Reg H, and as shown by Zine winning VR, they are still pretty high on that team. So
yeah.
definitely something to look out for, or something to like learn to practice with if you want to use that. So
Dude, Aquamarine, your head's in the same spot as mine. I was also kind of thinking that like about what the acronym for it is, and it is like guard. You can't really do anything with the M that Mousehold gives you, and sometimes it's a Ninetales. I've seen Ninetales, I think, also in the top cut here, or not top
Yeah,
cut, but day 2. Go ahead, Adi.
right. The
Right
the
here.
team that you just passed it. Oh, the Shuji Endo team as well. That I was gonna say that's the team that I brought to Toronto Regionals. I was really high
No,
on
this
this
is
team, and
different.
then
This is literally different. There's a Sneasler and a Magmar. There's 2
oh,
Pokemon that are
there's
different,
the
okay?
Sneasler. I didn't see. Wait, what was the one that you pointed out?
Annihilate.
Go back.
This one's the exact same,
Oh,
but Ninetales. To be fair, I'm pointing to 5 out of the same
okay.
6. Not,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you
No,
are
this
technically
is
1 degree lower.
that is the team that it's in my rental code video. It's the team that Saidi used to get top 16 at a couple regionals in Reg H
Yep.
in Europe. And he posted a rental code and it's public. So you can try that team out. I used a very similar team to that at Toronto Regionals, and I did not do very well. But yeah, it is interesting that and I did think that Ninetales was maybe a little out of place. So it's interesting that it's almost the exact same team, but with the Mousehold on it. Doug, I think recently the Ninetales version fell off a little bit, and it's really just the Sneasler Amoonguss Instant version that was very, very common at the end of the Regulation H. And so, and with I think it won Perth Regionals, it won Stuttgart Regionals, and it got second place at the Bogota Special event, all at the very end of the format. So it was everywhere at the end of that format. But now it's really interesting to see that it's not really as represented in top cut of the first Victory Road, and instead we're seeing a different Doug variant that has like a mouse ape on it do really well instead. So
Right.
switching out the fighting type, I guess switching out the game plans, and I guess that is a substantial enough change to the way you have to play against it that it's kind of messing up what people are trying to do into a more common team.
Right. Yeah, just I mean, this ultimately falls under the big balance umbrella. It's tough to say because the balance umbrella is a little bit large. It's almost containing too many teams.
there's a lot
Because
of balance
Doug,
lines.
yeah, this is also in the balance umbrella, and it got second. And you'll see there was actually a whole meme on this one. I thought that was pretty excellent about what you can find in the 9th slot of this team. Let me go see. I think I found it. Yeah, it's right here. Excellent shout. P2 Ursaluna team 6th slot alignment chart. Because I think people have used just about all 9 of these Pokemon. I think Yanmega maybe not as much as the others, but I've seen all the rest.
Wolf caught a regional with it. With the
Well, no, he didn't have. I guess if you just define it as P2 Ursaluna for sure. But I'm saying like when it's like people use exactly the 5 with any of those other ones.
That's true.
Because it's just like a very common. I mean, it's ultimately it's Amoonguss, P2 Ursaluna Golden Go. I actually should be throwing it over to Burns, resident Ensign not Ensign P2, Ensign Amoonguss. They are his best friends, of course. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Justin? Do you think this team's going anywhere?
Hang on, I need to look at your stream.
Sounds good.
I mean, I'm not a big P2 or Saluna guy, but I do love Ensign Amoonguss Golden Go.
Right.
And I'm a former Hydreigon enjoyer. I don't really like him that much anymore, but yeah.
But like
I mean, you
there's
can't go wrong.
so many Pokemon you can put in the slot, like we were just talking about.
You can't go wrong with P2, or you can't go wrong with Amoonguss Ensign, and you can't go wrong with Golden Go because like it's the most broken thing in this format.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's funny is Ensign Amoonguss Golden Go is it's on a variety of archetypes on its own. Like it's on this version of balance. Adi was mentioning it on the Doug, like people use it with Doug. You also just see it with Rain. I don't know if we see it with Rain in this one. Actually, I think maybe Pato, I swear, was using it. Right here. It's not Pato, but yeah. Ensign Amoonguss Golden Go.
Can't go wrong with it.
Cannot go wrong with it, 100%.
They are, in fact, like 3 of the best Pokemon in the game right now, right? Like it's not surprising. It is kind of surprising that this team this P2 Ursa team fell off so much in the middle of the format.
Yeah, it
Back
did.
when we were all using our like Volcarona setup teams. And then made such a big comeback towards the end of the format and made such a big comeback even in this first VR tour with a couple in top cut. Yeah, I'm not surprised because I think the team is really good, and I think the people who have piloted it have been using it for basically the entire format in the same way that you see a lot of the Rain players who have been piloting the same different versions of Rain for the entire format do very well early on. Because I think a lot of people who are experimenting, trying to crack the format, are probably not having as much success initially. Right, it's a process; it takes time. Whereas people who
Yep.
are using an established team are going to do well immediately because it's an established team. So I'm curious if this has a staying power, but I also am like kind of curious. I forget, why did this fall out of the format? Was it a metagame trend? Because if this team is picking back up, maybe we should be looking back at what cycled into the format when this was really popular after like Baltimore.
It doesn't seem like a hard counter, but from what I remember, certain Annihilate teams, and it did lose to it in the finals. I think Annihilate can be very difficult for these teams, especially if it's like goggles on the Annihilate. This one is not the one that won. I think was Citrus, but yeah, if you have ways to prevent the Amoongus from invalidating the Annihilate, maybe Annihilate can be a very big issue for a lot of the rest.
I think
Yeah.
Sidespam's also really strong into it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Speaking
Right.
of Annihilate and Spam, I think Joe probably did the most cooking for at least somebody who made a run as deep as he did, putting a bit of a new team on the map. A Sand Spam team. I know Nils did literally win a tournament with Sand Spam, so it's not brand new.
These 6 Pokemon, right? I think he had these 6
No,
Pokemon.
no.
Is this not just the Nils team?
No, there's several differences. Whatever.
Like what? I mean, there are set differences, but like what?
Okay, first off, Annihilate was not on the team. Nils had Sinistra?
Yeah.
I honestly
He had
can't
a
remember.
He had a
Oh, Magmar. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was Magmar, and then I think it was Psychic Seed, Corviknight with Power Trip. Basically,
Yep.
Nils was running cooler
bulk up,
sets on
same
all
deal.
the Pokemon, okay? Nils was running cooler sets on all the Pokemon. Joe has made it boring. I can't remember.
You
no,
say
Nils had
all
a
the
DD.
Pokemon. This is the only Pokemon that he's changed. The only set that he changed is the Corviknight.
To be fair,
No, this thing had Swords Dance, right?
Oh, he changed the Sneasler. Oh, it did have Swords Dance. Yeah, it was still Focus Sash though.
This was like White Herb, I think.
It was
it
White
was
Herb.
White Herb. Joe had a really cool play that he put on Twitter.
What was that one?
It was when he was fighting against like an Annihilate that could Terra Fire, and he had like Indeedee Excadrill on the field, and I think the Ape was going to be faster than the Excadrill, but he side tricked
Oh, yes.
the Excadrill, and the Annihilate Terra Fired, and he got the high horsepower off and killed it.
That's cooking. That's definitely cooking. You can definitely do some fun stuff with Side Trick Scarf because the speed does apply immediately in the dynamic speed era. That's fun. That's really fun.
Shout out Step One.
But anyways, this is yeah, so it's not like a brand new, but like this is not a team that people were really watching out for by the time Toronto came around, I feel like, towards the end of the format. Spam Sand. So I don't know. Joe's got a name that enough people respect and follow, so you might see it pick up a little bit more, especially if he continues to stream himself using it.
Yeah, I wonder if this is the team that Joe is going. Joe generally like commits to a team pretty early and sticks to it the entire format. I wonder if this is going to be his team, or if he's going to go back to his Sun team that he used he got second place at 2 regionals with it in Reg H Part 1. So I wonder if he's going to go back to that, or if he's going to decide that maybe he should pick up something else. But like, I assume he's going to Pittsburgh regionals. He might even going to Monterey or Frankfurt. But when you're talking about a player who has those tendencies and is a player you're going to see at every North American tournament, it is generally worth keeping track of what they're using. So
right.
Especially if you lose to him every single year.
Yes.
In a win and in that case, you have to actually counter team him every tournament that you go to. That's the rule.
I'm praying that Joe does not return to Sun, dude. He was landing every sleep powder, dodging every move I threw at him, dude. I think
I speak for the entire cast of this show when I say that we do not condone the use of Jump Bluff in this format.
It didn't do too hot, and in fact, I don't want to kick anybody while they're down, but Marco, I think, did play with his Sun team and failed to make day 2. So, has its highs, has its lows, or maybe people are ready for it. Regardless, he did release a paid team report for it. So, That is a factor that you got to consider when you think about
That's a sign that you should all drop the team. Anybody
if he's,
considering using it.
if he's giving it up, if he's giving away all the secrets.
We're gonna get a free.
This...
We're gonna get a free version of the team report in a week. Mark my words.
And it's gonna have 4 fewer speed EVs.
True, dude. Him speed creeping himself was honestly excellent gambit. I respect the hell out of it. I don't mind that at all. I don't think it's BM. I think it's just, you know, meta manip, whatever. This team from David, though, I thought was kind of funny because it just like has like a rule breaker combo that is simply Tyranitar plus multi-scale Dragonite. I was big on Tyranitar going into Toronto, and I brought it, and ultimately didn't end up making it to the second day. I still think it's a pretty strong Pokemon into the metagame and very anti-meta when it comes to a lot of different strategies. But I was like, I love Dragonite. I loved running Dragonite. It's so sad that I can't run Dragonite with Tyranitar. And it's, you know what? I like respect them for saying, actually, you know what? Yeah, you can. You just choose when you break your own multi-scale or not. And I'm like, you know what? Respect. That's awesome.
Or you could run Inner Focus.
Or you could run Inner Focus. I mean, Inner Focus, when we were prepping for the early GCs in Reg H last year, the early ones, it was like, ooh, I'm cooking with multi-scale. Let's go. Honestly, if you run Inner Focus in this GC, you will catch so many people off guard. They will fake you out every time.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but also, like, if you're playing the GC, like, you really, I feel like you really shouldn't be faking out Dragonites. I feel like I never do.
Around it. Is it multi-scale or is it Inner Focus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to play around both as much as possible all the time, right? Like, that's kind of how you have to approach these.
Yeah, just
but that's boring.
It won't have a Lumberry.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the...
God, if it hit a Lumberry, I'd be pissed.
I think that seems cool. Elizabeth, by the way, just like still doing it with like basically the original Elizabeth team that became a metagame staple of its own. Yeah, like no real major changes as far as I know, just like still doing it. So, cool. Let's see. Less cool, but you know, I mean, depending on who you ask, maybe really cool if you're like big into Dozo. Is Marcus Coe, who only ever uses Dozo, is still using Dozo and is doing it well enough that, you know, maybe didn't lose to every single Haze Dragonite on the way.
Well, you say that, but how many of the Dragonites in Top Cut had Haze? Because I feel like Dragonites has such big 4 move slot syndrome, and a bunch of them are starting to drop it. I obviously did see the first place one had Haze. Oh, that one had Haze too. Okay,
Haze.
maybe it is more common than I thought.
Yeah, I think they almost
maybe the
always
ones that
have,
made
it feels like.
Do that, because I feel like, you know, scale shots mandatory, and then you have to pick like 2 of Haze, Tailwind, E-Speed, but then I also see people running Ice Spinner, and I also see people running Stomping Tantrum. Yeah, like that one. That's the tank team, right? So yeah, it's so hard to like fit it on sometimes. And so I did see like the tank team here. I did see people at the end of the format starting to drop Haze, and it almost made me think maybe it is Dozo's time to come back, because people are going to disrespect it a little bit. That being said, we do see at the top of the tournament, the people who did win and progress past the Dozo phase of the tournament turned out have Haze. So, you know, maybe it is still a good move.
It's a good move.
Now, don't completely come out at Adi for the take. I mean, some of them are genuinely not running Haze, but I think a little more are running Haze than maybe was stated. Regardless, yeah, that's there's the Dozo team. This one's just kind of dug. I think this might be Sash Bear. Nope, Leftovers Calm Mind, Terra Electric, of course. Actually, not a complete crazy one for people that remember. Like, people were using that last year. Japan inspired, I believe. But,
it's a very good single set.
I believe it. I believe it. That one's Ubers, right? It got banned, right?
I don't remember. I know it got suspended at least. It's probably.
I'm not the type of.
It's really good.
I feel like
he was really good.
Yeah.
It is Ubers, yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised that this team is still doing it. By the way, every time I see it, I'm like, bro, you have 2 win conditions, and they are outlined in purple for everybody to see. Like, they know exactly what you're up to, and this team still continues to do it. Like, you set up the ape probably 85% of games. And other games, you win by, like, Blood Moon being allowed to click Blood Moon 5 times because it's protected by Friend Guard and Hospitality and screens and, like...
and more screens.
And no, it's not more screens. It's bait.
it's
It's
not a
bait.
road.
It is just like I don't know. I'm not gonna call the Ninetales a win condition, but it's just kind of like here. I guess it's like really annoying for Haze Dragonite in particular because you can't really be using a setup team that doesn't have a good answer to Dragonite hazing off all your boosts.
Yeah, well, and we again, this is another weird metagame trend at the very end of Reg H that I saw, especially I think with the Justin Tang team. I think they also had Sash, no Veils, Ninetales, if I recall correctly, on their team. And so
this one, I think it's Veil.
I think so, right? This one did have Veils.
It's Veil, but no
I
Protect.
feel like
but it is Sash.
I thought. Let me pull up this stupid. I have my presentation that I used, and I got to pull back up to see what did the Tang actually use. No, they did have Veils. You're right.
This.
Never mind.
I think it's just this.
There
I think
was
Lewis Markle's running.
Oh, here we go. Bartosz got top 8 at Gdansk Regional with no Haze, which is I think almost the exact same team as this one.
Got it.
And so I did see people starting to drop Aurora Veil at the end of the format and running Sash and using Ninetales as more of a support Pokemon, using Encore and Blizzard is really good at creating pins. And Icy Wind is a really good form of speed control, and so you actually just have a lot of tools without it. So I do see the vision. I do get why the Ninetales can be Sash and drop Aurora Veil, obviously, especially if you have another screen set. But I
just said they were using it as a support Pokemon that dropped Aurora Veil.
True.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're creating pins.
It does have a lot of.
They're supporting
they're using Encore Icy Wind.
It is kind of less support. I'm seeing Burns' critique a little bit, but it is also just like it's more like I don't know utility, but like we're nitpicking over the word used to describe a Pokemon, which is silly.
Well, no, you're right. You're right. This one has freeze dry. I didn't expect freeze dry normally.
Can I just say one thing? The last time that I tried to rely on Ninetales to like take kills, this happened.
Oh, dude, no. Oh man. Yeah,
I still remember that Blizzard.
When Justin and I played in the finals, he had an Alolan Ninetales, and I had an Assault Vest. No, was it even Assault Vest?
It was Assault Vest.
Yeah, Assault Vest Garchomp. I had Assault Vest Garchomp, and it survived Blizzard. And Twitch chat was going nuts because they were just like, "That's not possible. Garchomp cannot survive ice attacks. He's literally hacking."
I was so close to extreme speeding it, but not because I thought it was Assault Vest, but because I thought it was Sash.
Oh yeah. And, like, I think it was just like technically, I don't know. We don't need to get into the details on it. Like, it's not actually it's an age-old game, but yeah, I did not expect it to be taking Blizzard so well either. To be fair, Garchomp, this Ninetales is, as you said, not something you want to rely on for kills.
No.
Okay. We gotta talk about the Ribombee team, of course, because I saw somebody mention in the Twitch chat already. Yeah, low-key, it's heat. I swear, last time the Reg H came around, there was one Japanese player, and they would use Ribombee with Typhlosion like religiously, just like I think they had Sunny Day on it instead of Fake Tears. And I was kind of convinced by the strength of watching Ribombee. Ribombee is very fast. It has, like, I think a 120 speed stat. Maybe Calc is right. I don't remember how fast it is. I think it's that. And it's got Shield Dust, which is Covert Cloak, the ability.
The original Covert Cloak.
The original Covert Cloak. So it's actually so cool that Ribombee has found at least a little bit of a niche in this format as like a Tailwind setter. Because, I don't know, we kind of... I've been talking about this a lot in my coaching sessions, is like, there's just not as much success. Like, Tailwind is actually really good in the format, but you want, like, a little bit more proactive Tailwind setters. Like, if you look in, like, the top cut here, you're not seeing as many. There is, like, technically the one Whimsicott here, but, like, not a lot of Prankster or Gale Wings Tailwinds. I know Carson did win a regional with Talonflame, and I think Geo got top 4 with the Whimsicott, but you see a lot of other Pokemon shining in this format with just for Tailwind if they can provide some other niche alongside it. And Ribombee being a fake out immune Tailwind that is a fast fairy type, like with Moonblast. I mean, I guess you can do that with Covert Cloak Whimsicott, but I don't know. Ribombee's kind of neat.
It's cool. And you have like the fast Pollen Puff, so you can Pollen Puff Eruption.
Oh, it's 124? Oh, dude, it's turbo.
really is.
Yeah, this one sadly doesn't have pollen puff burns. I wish it did, because like that would be so
Oh, it doesn't have
cool,
pollen.
dude. If it did, I kept thinking it should. It was an idea that I wanted to use in one of the GCs because I was like, that's
That
cooking,
was like
but
that was like Ribombi's like signature move before they gave it to
it
everybody else.
was, dude. It was. It was. The rest of the team, I mean, there's also a Mimikyu on here, which is cool. Life Orb Mimikyu with Terra Grass Woodhammer. I don't know, say goodbye to your Basque Legion or anything that's Terra Water,
I
like
think
Golden Go.
I think we tried testing that for like San Diego regionals.
I think you're right. I think you're actually right. Yeah, I remember testing that forever ago, but still in the Scarlet and Violet era.
The first regional of the Scarlet Violet era.
Rafa's yelling at me for skipping over 12th. Rafa, I'm sorry, but you got outplaced by the exact same 6, and so I just don't have more to say about it. I'm sorry. Your team's boring.
Rafa, you should.
I'll flash it on
I think
screen
you're
'cause
gonna
you
do
have
great
the
at these locals, but you should probably use a team that's gonna do better in the GC.
True, true. And also don't play the GC while driving, but that one's been stated already. Let's see. MDB played, did all right with this team with coaching Sneasler. Pretty much anything that MDB used definitely could be picked up on just because again he streamed with it and people might flock to it. But I know that he's not like the original creator of anything like this exactly, but
this team's from ages ago. This team's literally a year old. So
yeah.
If you want to steal this team, you have plenty of chances to do so. Pull up the Superior. I want to look at the Superior. That's what I've been waiting for the entire time.
Dude, this is Alex de la Pasqua too.
Yes, I love that guy.
He cooks. He genuinely cooks.
Yeah, he's the Reshiram player from 2022.
Yes.
The original Reshiram, right?
Yeah.
No, I love this guy, and I'm super interested because obviously I got 33rd in the first GC. We mentioned that earlier with Superior, and I thought it was such a cool Pokemon with a really cool toolkit. Again, as a glare user that outspeeds things like Garchomp that can hit ground types, and as a kind of support Pokemon that lets you really like that puts on a lot of pressure if they ignore it for a turn with Leaf Storm.
I didn't even see this snuck past me until now, dude.
Glare is a diabolical move, dude.
That's kind of cool. I love it. Oh, this is you. Wait, there's no T-Wave on the Grimmsnarl. I'm just realizing.
Sandvale.
It's bright powder Sandvale.
You are never gonna get to hit this Garchomp through like glare paralysis plus bright powder Sandvale.
Put a sub on it like Len did.
A
couple years ago.
Yeah, but then you can't run the leftovers.
Wait,
on the Garchomp?
By the way,
yeah, because that's what he did. He was the lefties Sandvale.
This team is crazy, but I do think that this is a cool proof of concept that maybe like Superior T-Tar Garchomp just being really, really fucking annoying maybe is good enough. I'm genuinely curious if you can do something like that maybe doesn't have like a weirdo sun mode on it.
Also, Scarf is just a really good item in the format. Scarf Bass, Scarf Indeedee, Scarf Typhlosion. I feel like there's a lot of underexplored Scarf Pokemon in the format that can do some cool and stuff.
It's crazy how good Scarf gets when there's not like a tier of Pokemon that like, oh, suddenly I use an item and now my speed is faster, or Electric Terrain or Sun is up and my speed is faster.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Of course.
Fluttermane has a choice scarf that doesn't lock it into a move. That's not fair.
That would be unfair. That would be very unfair.
That'd be pretty unfair.
And so I think I'm looking at the rest of these and I'm not seeing anything too crazy. Sorry about not mentioning your Espathra already, Nurnbo. But yeah, that's certainly something. Whoa.
Okay. I'm very curious because that was Davide Carrera, right? I wonder if he's going to Frankfurt and if he's really going to break something like that because we've seen Espathra do well in this format. It cut Baltimore regionals. So like it's been around. I'm very curious if he's like actually think he's cooking or if he's if he's just like especially since Italy is not the closest to Germany. I wonder if he's just not going. Pull up the Blaziken team. I'm also curious about that.
Dude, use Mamoswine. That's hype.
That's his like favorite mon, right?
Blaziken, Heatwave, Aura Spear, Will-O-Wisp, Life Orb on Rain?
With a Life
But it's
Orb.
Scarf
Oh my god.
and Power Herb. This person's definitely using their GC team in the VR tournament.
100%. 100%. You know what the GC sets are if you spread it to these 6.
What the heck? Dude, that's insane.
That's cool. I low key I kind of believe in Blaziken.
Yeah,
I think that it's actually kind of cool as a Aurasphere Heatwave abuser. Like we're having fighting fire coverage is very unique, and having wanted my Sneasler to be able to hit Goldengo and Basque Legion. Not well, I guess it doesn't hit Basque Legion. It hits Goldengo and Archaludon more consistently. It is kind of cool to have a fighting type that actually hits those two guys, the two best steel types in the format.
we've definitely looked at some really cool, weird Pokemon here, and that's exactly what we need to do to segue into Calca's right to end things off here. So, yeah, I guess we haven't been doing Calca's right as often lately, so I feel like I do a bad job of explaining it when we do go into it. But basically, we're just going to present some damage calc situations where the rest of the call has to, and of course, you and Twitch chat can play along, has to guess what the calc is going to be. So if I said how much is Blizzard from an Abomasnow with 220 special attack modest doing it to another Abomasnow, and you say 40, you would get the point. Well, of course, we have to lay out all the specific situations, but regardless, yeah, I'll start us off here. We talked about Blaziken, we talked about Ribombee. I think those are both good picks if you guys want to have them. I'm taking Serperior. I just want to know, if I'm EVing my Serperior for Dire Claw, do I need more than max HP? So, max HP Serperior, how much is it taking from a Jolly Dire Claw Sneasler? Jolly Max Sneasler, Dire Claw into Serperior. I wonder if Adi already knows this one. But if he doesn't, well, I'm putting him to the test because it was a while ago, so you might have forgotten it.
It was a while ago. I'm trying to remember my my original Superior spread because I think it was EV to live that exactly.
That's funny.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, max HP. It's not like completely
That's a good
optimal for surviving a physical attack, but yeah, once you guys are ready, let me know.
I'm ready. That's a good
I'm ready.
body. Thank you.
Okay, let's throw it to Burns first then.
I'm gonna say if you Dire Claw at 252 HP Superior, it's gonna be a roll. So I'm gonna go with like I guess just 100 on the dot then.
Why not? Why not? Adi,
Yeah.
what about you?
I think you're exactly right because I also remember it being I remember it being a roll to kill, and I think I had to invest like a very, very little in defenses to consistently live it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say 101 or 100. Let's say 102.
102. All right. Superior. I need a simpler spread than that. Just max HP. I didn't say any defense, so we'll stick with that. Sneasler, Terrastellar Sash, good enough for me. And actually, it looks like it's taking it a little bit better. I mean, yeah, if you throw in an Adamant there, then maybe you had to EV for Adamant. Okay. But wow, Jolly, you're just chilling. So yeah, you might want to run a little bit more to have that assurance against all Sneaslers. At least ones that aren't running like Life Orb or something to kill your Superior. But yeah, Dire Claw from a Jolly one, you're just chilling. So crazy.
Yeah, I guess so. I knew I lived it.
Also,
I'm pretty sure I was like 252.4 back in my Sneasler, back in my Superior. So it's like basically the same thing. But yeah, I knew I lived it. I didn't know how much apparently.
Yeah. All right, who's got one ready to go next?
I got one. Just give me one.
Justin.
Second.
All right. Also, okay. Aquamarine, I'm responding to your chat message very late, but you said PS says Ribombee still has Pollen Puff. Yeah, no, we're talking about that one didn't have Pollen Puff, but when the move originally debuted, it was Ribombee's signature move before they said, actually everybody can kind of have Pollen Puff.
So I'm going to go with a Pokemon that's not actually in the game. But
okay.
It was like I had a calc. I like pinned it in my DMs with nails like months ago because I was like, if I ever get on Tub Takes, I want to use this Pokemon. So imagine with me for a second that Clamperl is in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Oh God, okay.
And imagine we're gonna give it a Deep Sea Tooth. We're gonna run max special attack, and we're gonna run Terra Water, and we're gonna click Muddy Water into this into a Porygon 2. And I just kind of went with like the calc Porygon 2, like Bolt Beam, Trick Room, or whatever. So you can go ahead and throw that one up there first.
Okay. Let's see. So 250-100, simple enough.
Yeah, 250-100. So how much is our? And we also have rain, by the way. So how much is our 252 modest Deep Sea Tooth Terra Water Clam Pearl. We're also clicking Helping Hand. Muddy Water versus Porygon 2 and Rain. How much is that doing?
I got my number.
I got a number. Cool. Yeah, I got a number.
Like, you didn't get off a Shell Smash before this, Burns? What are we
No,
doing?
we didn't get our shell
Smell
smash. We did not click shell smash.
Okay. Pick who to start.
Who went for Alex? You go first.
All right, I'm going for 85. Not just because it's Muddy Water's accuracy, because that's just how much I feel like it's doing.
All right. How about you, Audie?
I am on the flip side. I think this kills, and I think this kills pretty consistently. That's a lot of multipliers. I'm going to go with 125.
Ooh, all right. I'm liking this. So, what do I got? I think National Dex is clicked already, so maybe it'll let me. Perfect. Clam Pearl. All right. We're working with a 74 special attack stat. That's not bad, actually, for how many multipliers.
It's doubled, right?
Yeah, doubles.
It doubles. Yeah, it's a lot.
Wait,
like fucking.
Is this the wrong item?
It's Tooth.
Okay, Tooth. Is the other one actually just Eviolite, but bad?
Yeah.
Or I guess it's not really worse. Right? I don't know.
Okay.
Terra. Water. Rain.
You rain up. Helping Hand.
Helping Hand. We haven't given it an attack yet, but I think that's the last step. Muddy Water. No, don't do this to me. Wait, also, hold on. No. What did you say? Oh, you said 125. You said 102 for
I said
the last one. For the last. Okay, but we did just dodge it.
Alex whiffed by 0.4.
Oh my god, no! Yeah, you said it was doubles, right? So spread and stuff.
So I wanted to be topical because we're back in Reg H, but my calc was if you use this Muddy Water against a max HP Ice Rider with like no SPDF investment, it always kills.
Oh my god, dude. Also, Sable, thank you for the raid. We're actually going to be wrapping up relatively soon, but appreciate you guys coming through. We're finishing up Tub Takes. We talked about the circuit changes and stuff, and whatnot. So, but right now we're playing Calca's Raid.
And if you want to watch the entire thing, we talked about the Global Challenge, and Justin, of course, having won a Global Challenge, gave us some incredible advice. We had talked about Seattle Regionals.
Called the International Challenge at the time.
True.
You didn't tell him that.
Not as big.
You didn't tell him when. Don't worry about that. But yeah, you can check this entire thing out on YouTube. It'll be up tomorrow on my YouTube channel, which I will go ahead and throw a link for in the chat.
And then,
but it is my turn for the calc is right. And yeah, so I've got, we talked about Rabombi, and we were talking about Pollen Puff, and so I figure I got to do a Pollen Puff calc. So let's say it's a Sash, Timid, Rabombi,
50%. It always heals 50%. My number's 50.
And attacking into an opposing Rillaboom, right? Just the most standard Pokemon out there. The most likely thing you're going to Pollen Puff, most likely, is well, until it switches out. But a Rillaboom is just the standard Assault Vest stat. Let's say 252 HP, and I think they're run 100 SPDF. So let's say at 252 100. How much is the Max Timid Rabombi doing?
All right. How strong is the little bug? Dude, it's tiny, by the way, in game. It's so funny how tiny that thing is in game. It's just minuscule. That's true, Rajan. I specifically didn't want you on the episode. I mentioned this out loud. Honestly, I said it at the beginning. I said we would have had Rajan here, but I said no.
It would have been great dynamic to have the most loved Tub Takes guest with the most hated Tub Takes guest.
Oh, I didn't know that Audie was the most loved. That's awesome, Audie.
Well, yeah, it is my channel.
Okay.
I
think I'm ready as well. I'm good to go.
Rajan told me that he would not be doing a team report after he won the Global Challenge because he wants to save it for after Pittsburgh. So, you think he'd come on Top Takes if he wins the GC? You think he'd be willing to do that instead?
Right.
I don't know. We were just saving our Top Take slot until you win. We don't want to pull a Geo and then have you be too cool for us.
So true.
I'm kidding. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. We got both you guys have your Rabombi calcs. Justin, what do you have?
Gosh, I'm gonna say like 70% because it is like stab and it's max special attack. And I know Mungus does like 40%, so I'm gonna say Ribombi does 70%.
All right. And Alex, what do you think?
Gosh, Justin making me want to bump my number up. Of course, I won't move it, but like I'm going for 65, which I don't know. I think the main thing is this Rillaboom is maybe a bit more specially defensive than most. This Calc default one, I don't know. I don't know how many people actually run a lot of Spadef on their Rillabooms. Maybe they do. Standard Assault Vest. There we go. You said 100 though. We're cutting it down to 100.
I said 100. Yeah, it's about the same.
And then Ribombi has no set in the Calc. What? Unbelievable.
Maybe
Wow. Alex, fix your calc. Unusable.
Okay. Whoa, no, Justin, I think you got robbed.
No.
Oh wait, no.
Helping hand.
We have helping hand, which means that we're just terribly wrong.
You're just terribly wrong.
What?
Unlucky.
Huh? Okay, I think the main thing that's really pulling us out is that Ribombi's rocking a 95. Like, it's actually not that strong.
I don't know what you thought Ribombi's base stat total was, but it has 124 base speed. We did establish that part. So it's special attack. If it had 124 speed and over 100 special attack, we'd be using that guy.
I used
the stats are nowhere.
I used Terrabug Rogen.
Put him in his head. Raj is pissed.
No, all right. Yeah, to be fair, just doing a little bit less than that. But
wait, you forgot
Justin's
to put in the crit.
helping him.
Crit.
Yeah, Justin's always critting
the modest max special attack.
Oh wait, hold on. How much does the Savage Spin Out do? Whoops, wrong button.
Oh no.
Justin's critting, dude. Also, he's calculating this in his head against like low Spadef Rillaboom, okay? Because dude, that's still not gonna get there. All right, whatever. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Justin, for joining us this week.
Thank you. I had a good time.
It was definitely a lot of fun talking about like all these, I don't know, the circuit changes. It's just fun that we're getting started here finally with this new 2026 season. There's so many things to look forward to. Tournaments coming up. I don't know, I'm hyped. So, yeah, like Ali mentioned just a little bit ago, if you just joined but you didn't catch the beginning and you do want to see it, it's going to be on YouTube tomorrow, as well as a bunch of other videos. Ali's going to be releasing some team reports and metagame recaps. So if you're looking to get ready for Regulation H or Regulation I when it inevitably comes back, he's got you covered.
Or Pokemon Champions. You know, we got
True.
Pokemon Champions content coming too. Don't worry.
I'm so excited for that.
I got a script about Pokemon Champions that I've written, so that's going to come out in the next month or so. But I got things I got to work on before that. Yeah.
I'll see y'all on the I'll see y'all on the PLZA ranked grind, the battle
Yo,
royale.
Drew, climbing from Z to A. I think you start
Z to A,
right? Yeah,
that's what the game's called, Z to A.
True. All right. Well, I gotta look.
Alex, can we raid the Reshiram VTuber? Can we raid the Reshiram VTuber who's practicing?
Why not, dude? I mean, we're usually throwing it to like Topo or Sableye at this point, and Sableye just raided us. So Fedora Reshiram, that's a pretty baller Twitch name, I gotta say. Tell him to pull up to a tournament with Reshiram next time it's legal, because that Pokemon always has the weirdest finishes.
Like that time I beat Alex. I remember that.
Wait, did I? Oh, I did. No, dude, that guy.
Yeah,
that was not. Oh, I don't think of him as a Reshiram player, despite him using Reshiram. I think of like Alex De La Pasqua, or like I played a Colding Light using a Reshiram as well. Anyways, you guys have a good rest of your week. We'll catch you around. Peace.
Peace out.
See ya.